Some people are inconvenient when they stop being useful. My name is Jordan Hayes. I'm 31 years old, and this is the story of how my grandmother's final request exposed my family's darkest secret. My grandmother, Dorothy Hayes, raised me from ages 6 to 9 while my parents got back on their feet after my father lost his job. Those were some of the best years of my childhood. Grandma, teaching me to bake, helping with homework, telling stories about her life. She was sharp, funny, fierce. She'd been a nurse for 40 years, a woman who'd worked through the civil rights movement, women's liberation, everything. She was my hero. When she turned 85, things changed. She started forgetting small things, where she put her keys, what day it was. My Uncle Poe, her power of attorney, immediately started talking about memory care facilities. My Aunt Linda agreed. My mother, Dorothy's daughter, went along with it. I was the only one who objected. She's just getting older. We could hire help, move her in with one of us. Jordan, you don't understand how much work it is, my mother said. She's too much. She needs professional care. Within 2 months, they'd moved her into Meadowbrook Memory Care, an hour outside the city. Expensive, sterile, the kind of place where elderly people go to wait. My family visited less and less. Too busy, they said. Too far. Too hard to see her declining. But I went every Sunday, without fail. And here's what I noticed: Grandma wasn't declining. She was sharp, aware, angry. They put me here to get rid of me. She told me one Sunday, her eyes clear and fierce. I know what they're doing, Jordan. I'm not senile. I'm just old, and I'm in their way. Grandma, that's not true, isn't it? When's the last time Paul visited Linda? Your mother. They call once a week, talk for 5 minutes, and feel like they've done their duty. But you and I both know why I'm really here. I didn't want to believe her. But as months passed, I started to wonder. Then, 3 weeks ago, I got a call from Meadowbrook. Grandma had fallen, broken her hip. She was in the hospital, surgery scheduled. I dropped everything and drove there. My family showed up hours later. They stood around her hospital bed, talking about her like she wasn't there. This is it, Uncle Paul said. She can't live alone anymore. After rehab, she'll need to stay in full-time care. The costs are getting out of hand, Aunt Linda added. Maybe we should look at more affordable facilities. Grandma's eyes were closed, but I saw her hand clench the bedsheet. After they left, her eyes opened. Jordan, I need you to do something for me. Anything, Grandma. In my apartment at Meadowbrook, in the closet, there's a box, blue, with a lock. The key is taped under my nightstand drawer. I need you to bring it to me. Don't tell anyone, especially not Paul. What's in it? The truth? Her voice was hard. Everything they tried to hide when they locked me away. The next day, I went to Meadowbrook. The staff let me into Grandma's room. I found the box exactly where she said, blue, locked, about the size of a shoebox. The key was under the nightstand, just as she described. Back at the hospital, I gave her the box. Grandma's hands shook as she unlocked it. Inside were documents, bank statements, legal papers, letters, and a journal. Read it, Grandma said. Out loud. I want you to understand what your uncle did. I opened the journal. It was dated from 2 years ago, right before she went to Med. February 10th, I read. Paul came by today, wanted me to sign papers to give him full access to my accounts, said it was for my own good, to make things easier. Something felt wrong. I told him I needed to think about it. He wasn't happy. I looked at Grandma. She nodded for me to continue. March 3rd. Paul brought a lawyer. They pressured me to sign power of attorney documents. They made it sound like I had no choice, like I was too old to handle my own affairs. I was scared. I signed. My stomach dropped. April 15th, I tried to access my savings account today. The bank said Paul had transferred most of it to $100,000 to a joint account with his name. When I called him, he said it was for estate planning. I don't believe him. May 1st. Linda came over, said I should consider moving to a memory care facility. I told her I'm fine. My mind is sharp, she said. But Mom, you're forgetting things. We're worried. I'm not forgetting things. They're gaslighting me, making me seem incompetent so they can control everything. Tears were streaming down my face as I read her words, her awareness, her fear, her powerlessness. Grandma pulled out bank statements. Keep reading the documents. I found transfer records. Over 18 months, Uncle Paul had moved nearly $400,000 from Grandma's accounts into his own. Her retirement savings, the money from selling her house, everything she'd saved from 40 years of nursing. That's why they put me in Meadowbrook, Grandma said. Not because I needed it, but because they needed me quiet, out of the way, while they emptied my accounts. The memory care story was cover. Make everyone think I'm declining, that I can't manage my own affairs. Grandma, this is elder abuse. This is illegal, I know. And I need you to do something for me. She gripped my hand with surprising strength. I'm 80. I broke my hip. I probably don't have much time left, but I want them exposed. I want everyone to know what they did. What do you want me to do? Call a family meeting. Tomorrow? Tell them I'm making final arrangements, that I want everyone here. Then, I'm going to tell them the truth. The next day, my family gathered in Grandma's hospital room. Uncle Paul, Aunt Linda, my mother, a few cousins. They all came probably expecting Grandma to be too weak to cause trouble. Grandma sat up in her hospital bed, looking stronger than I'd seen her in months. I asked Jordan to gather you all here because I have something to say. Her voice was clear, powerful. For 2 years, you've told everyone I'm losing my memory, that I'm too much to deal with, that I need professional care. You've visited less and less, making it seem like a sad necessity instead of what it really was, abandonment. Uncle Paul shifted uncomfortably. Mom, this isn't the time. Be quiet. Paul, I'm not finished. The nurse in her came back, the authority she'd commanded for decades. I know what you did. I know you took power of attorney and immediately started draining my accounts. $400,000, Paul. My life savings, money I earned, saved, planned to leave to my grandchildren. The room went silent. You couldn't just steal it outright. So you convinced everyone I was declining. You put me in Meadowbrook. Not for my care, but to hide me. To make me seem incompetent. To keep me quiet while you emptied my accounts. That's ridiculous, Uncle Paul stammered. Those transfers were for estate planning. Grandma held up the bank statements. Jordan, show them. I passed around the documents. Transfers, withdrawals, account statements. The evidence was damning. My mother looked at her brother in horror. Paul, what did you do? I was protecting her assets. You were stealing, Grandma said flatly. And Linda, you helped. You pushed the memory care story, backed him up every time someone questioned it. You even told Jordan I was too much to care for. Aunt Linda's face went white. Here's what's going to happen, Grandma continued. Paul, you're going to return every cent you took. Every single cent. And you're going to do it within 30 days. If you don't, Jordan is taking these documents to the police and to a lawyer who specializes in elder abuse. You'll face criminal charges and civil suits. Mom, please, I'm not finished. You're also going to publicly admit what you did to this family. No more hiding behind the Concerned Children Act. You tell everyone the truth that you stole from your mother and locked her away to cover it up? Uncle Paul looked around the room for support, but my mother was crying. The cousins looked disgusted. No one was on his side. And one more thing, Grandma said. Her voice softer now. I'm leaving Meadowbrook. Jordan is taking me home with her. I'll live out whatever time I have left with someone who actually loves me, not in a facility where I was warehoused like an inconvenience. She looked at me. If you'll have me, sweetheart. Of course, Grandma. Always. 3 days later, after her surgery recovery, I brought Grandma home to my apartment. Uncle Paul returned the money, all of it, within 2 weeks, terrified of prosecution. He confessed to the family, his reputation destroyed. My mother apologized, said she should have questioned things more. Some relationships in the family are still broken. But Grandma is here with me, sharp and fierce and finally safe. My name is Jordan Hayes. I'm 31 years old. My family left my grandmother in a nursing home because she was too aware, too inconvenient, too much of an obstacle to their greed. But Grandma made one final request. She asked me to give her a voice when they'd tried to silence her, and in doing so, she exposed everything they'd tried to hide. She taught me that sometimes love means listening to what people aren't saying. It means questioning convenient narratives. It means standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Grandma's 87 now, living in my spare room, teaching my students to bake on weekends, telling stories about nursing through the 60s. She's not too much. She never was. She's exactly enough. And she's finally home.